What's up, game boys and girls? Big T here, back with another video. And this video is my review of the Lenovo Legion Go. I have to say that slow because I just did a bunch of takes and I kept ruining it. But Lenovo Legion Go. And this will be a review from a console gamer's kind of a perspective. It's not going to be some in-depth, how many giggly wiggly flops can I get out of it, or any of that stuff. There are way better people to do that type of stuff. This is my review, letting you guys know from a gamer's perspective, a console gamer's perspective, I should say, what I feel about the Lenovo Legion Go, and how good is it, all that stuff. So let's get into it. All right, so here it is, the Lenovo Legion Go. This is that cool device from Lenovo, who makes some really good gaming laptops, by the way. And they've made a really good handheld gaming PC. You guys know all the caveats. This is very much like a Switch where you can pop off the controllers here. Let me do that for you. Pop off the controllers like a Switch. They don't. The rail system is different from the Switch. Obviously, Nintendo has a patent on that sliding rail kind of deal, so these are a little bit clunkier. But once you get used to it, you'll figure it out. It's not that big of a deal. They're fine. I've heard people talk about how light these are. I think they're a pretty good weight. I don't think you want them to be heavy or anything like that, because the tablet part of it itself is heavy enough. But I think these are heavy enough. I think they feel fine in the hands. You can do your split, what do you call it, game mode or the tabletop mode. You can do that with these as well. These have a really cool, one of these at least have a really cool function I'm going to show you later. So you put them on like this, you kind of do like a, I don't know how you say, like you kind of slant it and then you kind of curve into the spot. Oh, I just messed up. And then you push up just a little bit. It's not that far. And you hear a click. And they come off by these little tabs in the back. I don't know if you can see that or not on the camera. My hands are super ashy. But there's a little tab there you push. And that's the release module for them. But obviously you guys also probably know about the very much Switch OLED style kickstand on the back. This is a very good kickstand. It feels like metal, but I think it's plastic. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's plastic. But it's very sturdy and whatnot, so that's good. As you can see, there's intake vents right here on the back. The output vent here was where all your heat's coming out. Your fan is blowing. It's pretty loud fan. Once you're playing a game that has some good visuals and like frame rates going, your volume buttons are at the top here. It has a USB-C input here and one on the bottom, so that's cool. And up here is also the micro SD card, or a micro SD slot, I should say, which I haven't used. And those are pretty much all your inputs. There's your power button and also your jack slot there. And also, this is where the speakers are, and that is a problem because instead of coming at you, the volume, I don't know if these are good speakers or not, because when you're holding, obviously this is how you're going to hold your system and whatnot. The speakers are shooting, the audio speaking is shooting out that way, and so you're not getting good audio. I don't know if the speakers are bad, but whatever, if they're bad or not, you're not getting good audio out of this thing. And well, I guess I will say I know that it's kind of tingy or whatever. It doesn't have enough like a bass to it. It's very like, kind of tingy sounding. Yeah, so it's just not great. It's fine, I guess, for handheld gaming without putting on headphones or something. Bluetooth wireless, or like I said, you can plug in the jack there. But yeah, so on the front here is where you get some of the issues. Now the joysticks themselves are just fine. I think they're good. It might be a little small, but I think they work fine. They're clicky. They have good range of motion there. The face buttons are also really good. They're not mushy. They have a nice click to them. The D-pad as well. The D-pad I think is a little low. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it doesn't come out that high. I think if it came out a little higher, it would feel better. But The placement is good. I think I thought there was going to be an issue, but the placement of the D-pad is good. The placement of the analog sticks are also good. You also have here a touchpad for your mouse control, which is wonderful, especially for a Windows-based unit. I'll talk about that in a minute as well. But here is where my issues come in. So up here you have kind of your options button menu. This is where you're going to control like the fan speed, and you can control what do you call it, benchmarking all your numbers and all that. This is where you would put that on your screen if you want that. Also, you can change the aspect ratio, the resolution of the console there. I've had some issues doing that while a game is playing. Sometimes the game crashes. Sometimes it just freezes. So I don't know if that's just. I'm sure that's just a software thing. So I haven't heard some people complain about it. So maybe that's just an issue with me. But the start and select buttons are over here, and it just does not feel right for a console gamer. I don't know if it's every gamer or it's just console gamers, but you want your start button at least to be over here. So I find myself pressing it a lot when I want to pause the game. I press the freaking options button, which is a problem right now because, like I said, you run into issues where it freezes the game, or it's just it basically just just ruins everything, and the game freezes, or you have to get out of it somehow. Which is a problem on a Windows computer. That's another thing. But here is, over here in the top left corner here is your, what is it called? It's the software. It leads you right to the proprietary software, the Legion Space, I think it's called, something like that. And from there is where you can get into all your games if you just want to bypass Windows that way. But Legion Space is not very good. I'm just going to tell you the truth. It is not a very good software. I don't really care because I didn't buy this for Legion Space. But as far as, this being a good alternative to something like Steam OS, it is not anywhere near that. And that's fine for me. Like I said, not a big deal for me, but it might be an issue for you. But like I said, this is the start and this is the select button. So it's going to take some time getting used to it. I haven't quite yet, but it is what it is. And on the back, you have a multitude of buttons. There is the Y1, Y2 on the left side, and then you have, I don't even know what they're called. I have to look at it right now. Is that an M? Oh no, that's also a Y3 and Y4. Okay, so that's what you have on there. And then on this particular Joy-Con, whatever you want to call it, you have an extra button. You have M1, M2, and these come into play. Well, M2 at least comes into play when you go into a certain mode. I'm going to get into that in a second. So there you go. It feels good. It's a heavy device. It's not crazy heavy. I can play like this just fine. And sometimes what I find myself doing, if the table is pretty level, is I'll put out the kickstand here and sit it on the table and play like this on the table, just kind of, and all the weight is gone at that point. So that's cool. That's cool to have that option. And I want to show you the case really quick because it is a nice case. Only problem is this case, you can't put your what do you call it? Your power adapter will not fit inside the case. So you have to carry it on the outside. I think I just closed it, but that's fine because I'm just going to show you this little flap here. You can see that little flap. You lift it up, and your power adapter, you can plug it into a wall, and you can feed the line through here, and that will run right into the USB-C port, so you can charge it. I don't recommend that because you run the risk of your system turning on by whatever reason. I mean, it is Windows, or just plugging it in like that when it's in the case might turn it on, and you don't want your PC running inside of a hot, sealed up case. Not good. So I don't know if I'd recommend use that. I probably will never use it. But let's open up the case here and zip. It's a very nice sturdy case, very hard and sturdy. It's nice and plush on the top to protect your screen and your joysticks. And it comes with this little dealie here, which is very cool. This, pull this out, it looks like whatever this little thing is, no big deal, right? So this is where you go into what is called FPS mode, which I don't think is the best name. I mean, I get it because it's like, you know, it's kind of the best name because it's more of a buzzwordy type of thing. But there's a magnet in here, and it will, as you can see, easily just slap on there. And on the bottom here, you hit FPS mode or on, and it is now in FPS mode. And let's turn this thing on so you can see what's going on here. Power it on. All right, power on. There we go. And you don't, I mean, yeah, I might as well take off the other one too as well. So let's take that off. All right, because you'll be going into FPS mode. In doing so, actually, here's the thing. You have to make sure the system is turned on and powered up before you take it off this, again, Joy-Con. I don't know what to call it. Controller, I guess. And then it has, because that's how you sync. You can see it's syncing up right there. It's turning colors, and then it pops in. And then you can do this. And then you put it in. And then you have your mouse. And you'll be using this, obviously, as your arrow keys or whatever. You're looking, or you're up, down, left, and or forward, back, left, and right, strafing. And then you use the mouse to do your target shooting, your perfect, you know, FPS shooting with mouse and keyboard. And I guess it works really well. I haven't used it myself. I don't really plan on using it for that. I use so-called FPS mode mostly for desktop computing. I don't, you know, that's what I use it for. Because Windows is not very good as far as using what do you call it? As far as using like your controllers to navigate Windows. Windows is not really built for that at all, or touchscreen. I mean, it works fine with touchscreen, but what you want is a mouse. At the very least, you want a mouse, and it has an on-screen keyboard just like every other handheld PC does, and it works fine. So, but I really wanted it for that because I know I'd be using it a lot as a laptop, basically. For desktop stuff, Windows-based things. And I'll just say I'm not the biggest fan of Windows. I left Windows back in 2005 for the most part and switched over to Mac fully. I mean, I had been dealing with Mac up until that point here and there. Actually, in school, we learned how to program on Apple II computers. So I was always more familiar with Mac anyway. It wasn't until like high school when I got into more PC stuff. But I came back home to Apple computers after that, because I'm just not the biggest fan. I think, me personally, I think Windows computers are needlessly complicated, overly complicated for a base user, and it's just when I had my gaming PC, I ran into so many issues, and that's why I just kind of said I'm done with PC gaming, because I'm tired of these little stupid driver issues or whatever. You know how it goes when you run in PC, and I just got tired of that. So that's why I got into the Steam Deck, because I wanted to be able to play PC games and not deal with the PC stuff, and that's why Steam Deck really worked well for me, and so I got into this whole deal. But there are also obviously things you can't do on Linux-based or Apple computers, Macintosh-based computers, and you need that Windows setup. There are certain games you can't play or didn't run great, and that's why I wanted a Steam Deck, a Lenovo Legion Go. And the main reason was Game Pass. I'll just say Game Pass was the main reason, to be able to play native games on the go, native Game Pass games, and not just through the cloud. I wanted to be able to play native games. So I knew that Lenovo Legion Go or the ROG Ally was the way to go. So I was looking at them both and considering which was best for me. And when I saw the FPS mode or the mouse mode for Lenovo Legion Go, I was like, that's the one I'm gonna get, and so that's why I bought it mainly. So again, if you're not a PC person, it's hard for me to recommend Lenovo Legion Go over the Steam Deck if you're having to choose which one. I knew I'm gonna keep both because they do certain things that I like, both of them, for me. But if you're not a PC guy, definitely go with the Steam Deck. But if you are a PC guy, you want to be able to continue to do your PC stuff, Lenovo Legion Go is a better go for you, or the ROG Ally. Again, I recommend Legion Go, mainly because I like the size of the screen. I like the FPS mode or the mouse mode. I think they're pretty good. The screen itself looks really good. It's just stuff like the audio isn't the best coming out of it. It can get loud, and the performance is actually really good. Definitely, I can tell the difference between Steam Deck and playing games on the Legion Go. So if you care about power and all that good stuff, I think the Legion Go is the best way to go as far as between ROG and this. From what I've seen, from the research I've done, it's kind of what you want to do. So yeah, I mean, again, it has all that PC stuff. I'm a little biased, you know, so I don't like that PC stuff, but I know I have to fight through some of it for the things I want to do, which is ultimately Game Pass and some desktop computing stuff that I like to do on the go. This is going to replace my laptop at some times, and also having a tablet. I won't need a tablet at all. I mean, this is a tablet, and it is a nice size one at that. You know, this is a good size, so I can watch. You know, I can stream. I can watch my streaming apps and all that good stuff here comfortably. I like the size; it's a good size screen, and it's great for that. So, yeah, I mean, out of 10. Because I did do the Steam Deck, I gave it a 9.5 or something. I would give this a 8, somewhere around there, for me personally. But if you're more prone to using Windows, you'll probably give it a higher score than me. Because there's really nothing else wrong, or you know, like there's nothing else that would bring that score down for me. Or for you, I should say, the person who likes PC gaming. And the controls, like I said, are pretty good. There's just the caveat of having to deal with getting used to your start and select button being over here. That's kind of weird. I keep pressing, the menu button, and it's annoying because I feel like that should be start. But anyway, yeah, that's it. 8 out of 10 for me. Also very cool that you can control the colors and whatnot. That would you do in the Legion Space software, I think it's called. So you can change the color, you can make them vibrate, change different things, change different colors, or stay one color, or whatever you want to do. It's pretty cool. So and I like the build quality of it. It feels very sturdy. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this review. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is this something you're interested in? If not, you know, is there a different desktop PC you want to get? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you again for watching and listening, and I'll see you fools next time. Peace out.